Greetings everyone, my name is Zetterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Make a Good Mega Man Level Contest 2, or Magmal 2 for short. During the last part, I continued my trek through Tier 10 Rainbow Road by completing 2 more levels, those being Launch and Shuttle Man, as well as Cyberman. So off screen, I decided to equip this custom costume based on the request of a commenter. This is the V, or rather the Vui costume. This is based off of the Vui enemy, which was a simple Bowie robot enemy originating from Waveman stage back in Mega Man 5. In fact, it originally didn't attack at all, instead serving as an obstacle to Mega Man during the jet ski segment, instead opting to ram into him. But here it does have a cannon. This custom costume was created by the combined efforts of Babaradu, Irrelevant Mage, as well as Metroid Peter. All of the attacks are about the same, of course. Here's his sliding. The only really differences are with its utilities. The Sakugarni instead, if I can summon it correctly, summons this enemy. I forget the exact name though. Oh yeah, I remember, this is the one from Gravity Man stage, the Graviton. Well, not the Graviton, the something else. Rush Coil is instead this enemy. And Rush Jet is this pelican enemy, or bird enemy, from Waveman stage, I guess. Why, hello there, Yellow Devil, I didn't expect to see you here. That's a really long way of saying hello. Anyways, in 6th place is Beneath Sand and Rock by the Stove Guy with a score of 43.4. Now, this is also one of those stages that I didn't watch footage of, similar with Hotman, though I watched some footage of Hotman, specifically the boss fight. 1 energy helmet and 2 noble nickels. I don't hear any music yet. And now we have music. I recognize this team. This is an 8-bit remix of one of the tracks in Donkey Kong Country 1, Fear Factory specifically. Yeah, this is an 8-bit remix of Fear Factory from Donkey Kong Country 1. So this is going to be a sand-oriented stage. I see those scorpion enemies, as well as the totem Polens, and Ratons. And we also have the Jet Botons from Plantman. Talkhaus is super good as well with the custom sand, as well as the sand falling in the background. I also see the subtle flashes with these spikes every so often. Wow, I completely failed in that jump. Oh well, at least there's a checkpoint right over here, so we don't need to repeat that falling segment. This time I'll just take the upper route and see what it has to offer. And keep jumping into all of these rats. I'm curious, what's down over there? Okay, it just takes me upwards. Well, that spinning top almost tried to push me into the spikes there. I see a sliding pathway over there and... Well, I guess I'm going through the right there because I need a key. Well, it makes sense. We already know we can go through these sands from Pharaohman's level. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was safe, so I decided to go back a bit. I thought it would just embed me into the spikes on the left. Can I climb upwards here? Nope, I can't. Also, that to the right looks a bit suspicious. I'm thinking it's like a hidden block or something, but I want to double check. Nope, nothing of suspicion. Just me. Well, we have the key now. And I see another key over there. I get the feeling there's going to be some hidden passageways all across this stage. And I see another key door over there, but I want to see what's up that ladder. Gotta be a bit careful not to be ambushed by these enemies, the jet botons. Thank you for the full health refill. Also, did the music just fade out here? It did, and then it restarted playing. Okay, the looping is a little bit off. This suffers from the same looping problem as Kozak's other Citadel way back in Tier 4 or Tier 5. Why does the music fade out even though it's not done? It's not like Ruined Lab back in Tier 7. There it made sense. And there's a spare key over there. What did I get hit by over there, though? Probably a spare projectile by an enemy. I guess that key will be utilized for one of the noble nickels or something. And I see 2 key doors over there, so my assumption is correct. At least I hope. What's to the right over here? I'm a bit suspicious of that as well. And there's another key. Boy, those jumps are really scary. A text box. Okay, apparently these are some ruins that have slept for over thousands of years. Under sand and rock, hence the name. Screams of torment. I haven't heard any grunts or screams yet. That's a little bit concerning. Is there a secret mini-boss somewhere? I'll have to take a look. That's key number 3. We probably need that spare key for a noble nickel down over here. Again, the song fades out. And I was right, here's a noble nickel. Getting a lot more big bolts than usual. And Fear Factory does fit this stage's aesthetic. After all, this is probably a haunted ruin with some bloody mystery. Those spikes look rather suspicious there. I'm just gonna sink down over here because I get the feeling there's a secret, judging by the 2 platforms. And I was right. Okay then, apparently this is really deep and we're in a grave or something. Are we gonna hear the screams of torment now? I see that shaking a bit. After all, this screen has a rather red tile set. It's looking at me. Torment. Is this a tortured soul? If we stay longer, is it going to insta-gib us? I'm getting the feeling that this is hinting to a much darker backstory behind this temple. Was it built here, or rather, were these ruins built here to seal demons? Well, I guess only the stuff guy knows. Let's get out of here. And he vanishes. Okay then. Where are we now? Okay, we're back over here, good. I was worried for a second there that we were sent all the way back to the beginning of this stage. Oh goody, enemies coming out of... Oh goody, enemies coming out of pits. I see, I'll need to loop around over there. Well, at least it's a bit telegraphed of where those enemies are coming from. Ah, jump bug. Pretty easy to deal with over here. And that's the second and final noble nickel. You know, when I first heard about this stage, I thought it would just be a simple ruin stage, a underground base, but I didn't expect such a dark backstory. And of course it decided to respawn here, right in front of my face, even though I was trying to kill it. I'm gonna try saving up on my E-tanks for now, instead use Grab Buster more. Otherwise it's kind of underutilized. I will need to utilize Grab Buster more in a certain set of challenge rooms in the future. A little bit of an empty room here. Why hello there, jump bug. It's not as empty as I expected it to be. A jet ski pointing left. I'm curious. No, I didn't want to do that. Well, we can't switch our weapons now. Now we're going through the stage in reverse. No charging, of course. Oh boy. At least I'm prepared for my experiences from Make a Good 24-hour Mega Man level. Wow, we're going through the entire stage in reverse. We blew up those temporary walls. I knew I should have been suspicious of those walls. And now we end the stage a lot further than where we were before. Just one screen to the right of me is where I started the stage. Well, that's neat. Although I wish there was a wall on screen indicating that we couldn't go to the left, because it was effectively an invisible wall, but we blew it up by gunning onto the jet ski. Well, I guess we're gonna face the boss now. Okay, we have a tower. I guess his weak point is the top. And it fires 3 crash bombs at a time. Oh, never mind, we can actually hit each individual portion. Fires a whole slew of explosive base attacks. It does give a bit of warning of where it's going to come up from, though. I'm curious though, can we destroy each individual portion? I knew I was going to take a dead over there, but boy, does this enemy have a whole slew of attacks. It has homing missiles, crash bombs, fireballs, not to mention a ramming attack. This feels more like a fortress boss as opposed to a traditional Roadmaster encounter. You can even spawn all these eggs. Yeah, we can jump over it if we're fast enough. Well, it seems that normal buster shots are the way to go, especially because each segment has their own invulnerability frames. I was hoping that we can destroy each individual segment, but this works. So, that was Beneath Sand and Rock. I don't know what to think about it. I would say, on my personal fun experience, it was almost good. Still, it was well constructed. I liked the aesthetics, I liked the surprisingly dark backstory, and I liked the reversed wave bike segment, or jet ski segment. Let's see what the judges have to say about this. Yeah, the jet batons really force you to be on your guard, or keep a charge shot ready. And the up and downs are pretty well utilized here as well. I mean, there is forewarning of where they're coming out from those sand grains or sand falls. Atmosphere of the stage is good, but it was surprisingly dark. I didn't expect to see that rather disturbing room at the bottom. I would like to see more stages where you loop in reverse and go through the stage again, but faster, like what this stage did. And the fortress boss at the end was pretty impressive, especially with all the different types of attacks it had, but all of them are dodgeable and learnable. It is quite alien to Mega Man. We usually don't have this many dark temples, outside of maybe Ra Moon in Super Adventure Rockman. That centipede boss may fire too many missiles at once. It's more of a problem mainly because they home in on you. Nonetheless, score-wise, probably at least a 41 or 42, mainly in terms of design and aesthetics and music. I recognize that figure to the left. That was one of the bosses present in the second place entry in Magma 1. I forget the name of that particular stage though. Gravity Man was the boss of that stage as well. Well, it makes sense. You were in the same stage as that mini-boss. I like the nice touch here with the golden Matul, and we have a star with 5, indicating that we're in 5th place now. From here on out are the top 5 entries. So, in 5th place is Quarantine Woman by NaOH, aka Sodium Hydroxide, with a score of 43.6. Everyone gave it pretty good scores outside of Pyro for some reason. Now, I watched full footage of this stage, so it's not going to be a blind run. 1 Energy Element entry Noble Nickels. This is my second or third favorite entry stage of them all, and you'll see why soon enough. So this stage takes place in a biohazard facility. No entry, but we're going in anyway. I also like setting the mood with the rainfall in the background. So we first start out with the regular enemies, aka the blockies, as well as the batons. So far so good. And we have Crawler Joes for some reason. These are not shielded, so they easily go down. Not to mention they only have 6 or 7 HP. I do like the music here. It really adds to the feeling that we're in a biohazard facility or some sort of mysterious lab. That's Noble Nickel 1 of 3, the easiest one to get. Warning, no humans allowed. For good reason, you'll see why soon enough. Thankfully, we aren't even a normal Robot Master or Mega Man. We're just playing as Vui, a simple robot enemy. Danger, Class A Hazard. I really like how all these signs are adding to atmosphere and foreshadowing of what's going to happen soon. This is what I was talking about. I do like how once we go past this segment, the music suddenly becomes much more tense, and effectively there's a containment breach. I wish more stages did something like this, and now we have the hazmat crews trying to rush in and try to put a stop at the biohazard. and kill off the witnesses, aka us. Also like the sirens in the background here. There's another reason why I like those Hazmat Joes or Hazmat enemies. For one, they're a little bit smarter than your usual foes because they have some AI. And I do like how they rappel down from here. I need to get down there somehow though. That's gonna be the hard part. Because I can't grab onto the rappel point. Once the enemies get close to you, to try using their claws to attack you, similar to the Slash Claw. Although you can get an infinite respawning number of enemies here. That isn't too bad though. Wow, I completely failed that jump there. Thankfully the checkpoint is right over here. But I really like the transition from the simple biohazard facility to the containment break. I think I know what to do there. I need to be using the wheel cutter. Well, at least the Hazmat Joes die off really easily. There we go. That's not what I intended to do there. Rush the time, I guess. Time to continue on with the stage normally. That was the second and third noble nickels. And like I mentioned, these Hazmat Joes will infinitely respawn and appear from off screen on the entrances. Keep an eye out on those horrifying abominations. If you didn't tell me this was Mega Man, I would think we were making an 8-bit Resident Evil-like game. Another reason why I like those enemies, the Hazmat Joes, is that due to their advanced AI, or more advanced than usual, they can climb up these sets of ladders, as well as other things. They aren't super smart though, thankfully, so they aren't that bad to deal with. And now we have the acid droppers, of course. That fluid does not look safe at all. Thankfully it doesn't damage us because we aren't a human. And there's a third and final noble nickel. Damage boosting for the win. That's how I would get it, at least. Getting back there is the problem. Well, you can always just use Rush Jet. No more noble nickels to worry about. Now we need to complete the stage. I really like the aesthetics of this level. They aren't as detailed as Beneath Sand and Rock, but they work a lot better with this atmosphere, a lot more tense atmosphere. Remember those creatures we saw earlier in those tubes? Yeah, they're breaking out now. We have both those flies and whatever those funguses are. And these do chase you if you get too close to them. But we'll see something fun soon enough. If those Hazmat Joes get close enough to these fly enemies, they'll try ignoring you and try killing them instead of just gunning directly for the player all the time. I do like that difference. Not everything is just going for Mega Man himself. There's some variety there. I mean, we haven't seen different enemy factions attack each other in Mega Man Classic games. I would love to see more games take this idea further, of having multiple enemy factions trying to kill each other. Though I wish these mutant enemies or biohazards had more time to shine. Music suddenly silent. And instead, we get introduced to this, whatever this thing is. The Wall Master. Yeah, it wasn't much of a problem. Thankfully, it did give us a full health restore at the end. There's the other arm. And there's Quarantine Woman. I don't know why she took off her armor, that seems like a bad idea. Darn, I almost did it. I want to do it Buster only without an E-Tank because I know it's doable. Even though there's more RNG in comparison to some of the previous bosses, all of these attacks are pretty dodgeable, and she doesn't chain the attacks together to a point where things are undodgeable. You know I know this using E-Tank. I keep having problems dodging that attack where she fires the consecutive series of sludge bombs. Straight out the wall, not this one. Nonetheless, that was the end of Quarantine Woman's stage. A pretty neat biohazard level. I liked how it had two atmospheres. First a foreboding, more calm one near the start, and then a much more tense one once everything goes to heck, once all those creatures start breaking out, and the hazmat crews rush in to deal with those foes. This is one of those stages that really focuses on cinematics, and it does pretty well. While still not freezing the players in place, it still gives them agency, basically. And I like how the Hazmat Joes actually attack the other bug-like mutants before you, instead of in usual Mega Man Classic games where everything is gunning for you. And yes, the Hazmat Joes do infinitely respawn, so you gotta be quick on your feet. I guess that was intended. Like I mentioned about 1/3 of the way through the level, if this wasn't mentioned as Mega Man, I would have expected to be a crossover with Resident Evil or some other horror franchise. The acid drops were kind of random. Probably should have been recolored. I don't know about you, but I really like the substance of this stage. Style is wonderful. Well, the boss is certainly learnable, it's just that some of the attacks, yes, you do require some trial and error to learn how to jump over them. At the very least, nothing is undodgeable. Well, as long as you clear up enough of them, it isn't that bad. That is possible to get out of by using the rush jet. This is something that Capcom wouldn't usually do, and I feel like it excels or expands upon Capcom's ideas. It's much better than many of their stages in general. That's why it's my second or third favorite entry stage. There are some flaws like the Jumbug, a little bit too heavy respawn times, or too quick respawn times on the part of the Hazmat Joes, but I liked it overall. It's probably 45 out of 50 for me. This stage really wins in terms of atmosphere and tileset. I like the music transition, I like the boss battle, and I like how the enemies actually have more advanced AI than your usual Mega Man foes. I mean, they probably react to the environment, they can even climb up the ladders, and they attack the mutants first. Ah, the Aliens franchise, that's one of the other things I was trying to say but didn't come to mind. If there's another thing I'd like to have AI-controlled companions that attack foes, maybe in a potential Mega Man fan game in the future. Yeah, the only custom assets are probably the acid droppers or the water. Most of these are enemy-based, but the enemies are so unique that I'll forgive the lack of gimmicks. I'd like to see more stages to give the enemy set better AI than usual. Even though the sprite work was a little bit rough at times, I didn't mind it. After all, I was paying more attention to everything else that was going on, so I didn't mind it as much. This definitely gets a 10 out of 10 in terms of aesthetics. Yeah, there was a lack of tells there if you're not careful. Probably if she could charge up her cannon in a different direction, depending on which shot she would fire, it'd make it a bit easier. And there's quite a bit of precision required. In fact, I'd say this is one of the harder boss battles of Tier 10. This is definitely one of the more unique experiences from a Mega Man fan game as well. And this is one of the reasons why I love Magmal 2, and why it's currently my favorite Mega Man fan game of all time. It beats out a lot of the Mega Man classic titles too. So in the next part, I'll delve even deeper into the Tier 10 Rainbow Road. Well then, thanks for watching, and have a nice day. Toodles!